Hello students and welcome to 1631. This is going to be Algebra-Based Physics 2. My name is Kevin Knable and I'll be your instructor this semester. So just a few quick announcements. My office hours will be held every Wednesday from 12 to 3 p.m. You could also reach me by email at kevin.knable@utsa.edu. So this week I'm quickly going to go over the syllabus. You're expected to review the significant figure worksheets and introduce yourself to your lab partners. So there's a few quick review of the syllabus, what we'll be covering. I would like to point out that you should have taken Physics 1623, which is Algebra-Based Physics 1, in order to be enrolled in Algebra-Based Physics 2. So the goals of this course is for every student to be engaged in the experiments. So our experiments in this course are, of course, going to be online. And the idea is that we're going to try to develop some uh, technical skill thinking, right? So when you're answering the online questions, uh, the answers will be, this happened, and why. There typically are no yes or no answers. So when you're filling out your worksheets and you're doing your experiments, think about what the physics are that's going on. And since these are online simulations, one of the things that you should expect is to have very low percent errors and percent differences. So these experiments should work every time. So if you're not getting correct percent errors or percent differences, I recommend that you go back and try to redo the experiment. Um, and when you're answering the questions, think about the physics. So when you're doing your worksheets, please don't put yes or no answers, yes and why answers. The next thing that we want to do is develop some team building skills. So this year UTSA is moving to Canvas. I know this syllabus needs to be updated. It may say Blackboard in some places, but we're moving to Canvas. So what I've done is I divided you all into groups. So you could go into the people section and you could check your group number. And we're going to be utilizing the discussion boards so that y'all can speak to one another. So the idea of the groups is to give you guys an additional support system. So if you have a question over the lab, yes, feel free to email me, and yes, feel free to come to office hours. But you could also post your questions in your group and answer each other's questions, or you could switch each other's contact information and talk to each other via Zoom as well. So I highly encourage everybody to use the features that are in Canvas this year, um, and go to your group discussions, because there may be a group member that you have, they have the same questions, or maybe somebody has a different question, you have the answer, and y'all could help each other. So one of the challenges with online learning is working with one another. So to do that, we're going to try to utilize the group feature in Canvas. Uh, Again, another goal of this course is to develop critical thinking and analytical skills. So after you perform these experiments, it's very important to think about what's going on and trying to explain the physics about what's going on. Typically, if you don't provide any answer at all, or if it's a yes or no, you're not going to receive any credit. But if you do provide a lengthy answer and you try to justify your points, maybe you didn't get the point or concepts correctly, but you'll still get mostly all the credits with some corrections. So in order to get credit on your lab reports, please just be thorough and be very professional when you're responding to the the questions in your lab reports. So by the end of the semester, you guys should have a fairly good understanding of Physics 2, and I'm going to do my best to aid you guys and provide you with more material to help you understand the concepts. I know physics is difficult, but we'll get through it. So again, like I said, the prerequisites, I lied over here. It's not 1623, it's 1611. The prerequisites is going to be 1611 to be enrolled in this course. All the content will be able to be found, don't look at this, on Canvas. So all our content, the worksheets will be found on Canvas. And since this is an online course, you should be able to find it in your modules. So plagiarism. Now this isn't typically a issue. You're encouraged to work with your group members. So if you're posting on Canvas, you're utilizing discussions, or if you're talking to each other via Zoom and you're working with your group members, you guys can definitely have same or similar answers. That doesn't count as plagiarism. Plagiarism is like if you go to Chegg and you take results from a similar experiment and you just post it, that would result in a 0 for a lab report. So please don't plagiarize. Canvas does have detections for plagiarism, but again, if you're working with your group members, you won't be penalized for having the same answers as your group members, because again, I'm encouraging you all to work together in your groups so you can have similar or very close answers with your group members, because you're encouraged to work together. So that's not considered plagiarism for our course. Now, one of the things that you will have to do is write your group number on your lab report, so I know who's working with each other. And again, that's you could find your group number in Canvas. So late lab reports, basically any lab report that is done, um, you know, it's going to be due on Sunday. So you have 5 days to turn it in if it's late, or it's going to result in a 0. If you miss 4 labs, it's going to be an automatic F. So please try to get everything turned in on time. And again, I'll send out weekly reminders that it's going to be due each Sunday or Monday. Again, if you drop your lecture course, you're encouraged to drop your or you should drop the online course as well. And then if you have any issues with the grading, typically you'll turn things in on Sunday. I'll do my best to get all the work graded by the following Tuesday or before my office hours. Um, and you have a week to discuss your grade with me. If Sometimes I do make errors, but I'll try to be very punctual in my grading. So typically expect to see your grades completely done by the end of Tuesday for sure. During my office hours, I should have all your grades done or posted on Canvas. So this is going to be the schedule for a semester. As you can see, the first week we didn't have no labs. So this week we're just going to be covering significant figures, and you're also going to be working with your group discussion. So just please review this worksheet. This isn't going to be a graded assignment. This week is mainly for y'all to get to know one another. So I encourage y'all to go to the discussion forums this week and talk to your group members. Next week, because it is Labor Day, we are not going to have any online courses. So we're not going to actually have our first lab starting until the 11th. So your Coulomb's module won't become available until September 11th. So that will be your first assignment. And around September 10th or so, I'll post a video explaining your first lab. So utilize these 2 weeks to talk to your group, introduce yourselves, go over the significant worksheet, and then again go over the syllabus. Now, each week for each lab, you will have a quiz. So your quizzes are going to be 20% of your grade. So the quizzes are going to be 5 minutes long, and they're going to be multiple choice, and they're going to be over all the course content that we have for that week. So for example, on the 11th, you're going to be quizzed over Coulomb's law. So please read the worksheet and all the literature related to that worksheet, and that's where the quiz questions are going to be coming from. So everything in that module, do that. So if you prefer to do the lab first, that way you're familiar with the lab, and then take the quiz at the end, that's completely fine. But just note that the quizzes are 20% of your grade. Again, I need to warn y'all, once you start the quiz, that's it. You only have one attempt. So if you start the quiz, please make sure you're in a quiet place with secure internet and things like that. Because if you start the quiz and something happens, that will just be your quiz grade for that thing. Now, I would like to point out, though, just in case you do have an incident with a lab or a quiz, we do drop the lowest lab grade and the lowest quiz grade. So, God forbid something happens and you miss a quiz or you mess up on a quiz, the lowest quiz grade and lab grade will be dropped. And that's to account for any unforeseen incidences or low quiz or lab grades. So we do drop one quiz and one lab. So the grade system is going to be the A minus or A minus B plus system, as you can see here. So an A is a 93 or above, an A minus is a 92 or above, and you could look at this to see how we determine grades in the course. Again, the lab format, every lab you are to turn in the analysis section. So this is a worksheet. Please be neat and clean. You can type your answers in. I prefer that you do that, or you could write them in either in a digital form or print them and scan it in as a PDF. Um, all labs and graphs, what I recommend that you do if you make your graphs in Excel, you could use a snipping tool. Try to make your graphs big so I could read them. And then everything needs to be converted into PDF format before you upload. This might not be as big an issue with Canvas because we're switching to Canvas, but when we were working with Blackboard, some Word formats wasn't I wasn't able to read, and if I can't read your documents, I can't grade them. So I encourage you all to upload everything as PDF format, and we'll go from there. So if you have any questions, again, feel free to email me at kevin.knable@utsa.edu. I look forward to working with you guys this semester. And again, have a wonderful week.